some more Origins 2024. We're here with Steve over at the SRG Universe. Just a little thing. Earlier, I was over at another booth over here, and we finished up, come over here, and I hear something. I was like, oh, Matt Cardona. I'm like, what? I'm like, holy crap, it's Matt Cardona.
That was the exact reaction we were going for. Matt Cardona has made himself a superstar in the independent wrestling scene. He formerly was in WWE. Now he's been all over the place. Some call him the Deathmatch King, the Indy God. And we brought him over here for autographs and photos. We actually debuted some cards that you could play with him as Super Show the Game. And we really try to offer an experience that's different from other games. You know, how many other games could say they brought in a wrestler to not only do photos and autographs, but then go over to the play area, play some games, and hang out. And he had an amazing time. It was the ultimate compliment. We said, I didn't know what to expect coming in, but it was so amazing, and you guys should be super proud of what you accomplished. So coming from somebody like Matt, it was just really high praise.
Yeah, awesome. So for those that don't know, what is the game about?
So this is the #1 rated wrestling card game of all time. According to Board Game Geek, we have some really great ratings. You can live all your wildest wrestling fantasies without ever taking a chair shot. It will really replicate a wrestling match. It's back and forth. We always warn people, don't get caught up in the action and try to throw our demoers through the table or throw some punches, because it's going to feel very real. You guys watched a brand new demo a moment ago, 2 brand new players. They were really into it, loving it. Even the guy just spectating it was like cheering on his friend. It really gives you that feel that you're in a wrestling match, and that's exactly what we wanted to capture. So we created our game, which is pre-constructed, but there are other pre-constructed products that we have, and you can mix and match them to customize your deck if that's really what you're into.
Awesome. And then you have a lot of made-up wrestlers that are inspired by some other ones, but then you have some that are like real wrestlers.
So we have a wide variety of wrestlers. Some we like to call SRG originals. We have some characters that represent people in our gaming community that they could buy or win. We have real wrestlers that are licensed and paid royalties, and then we also have like our old school sets that are like parody wrestlers of some of the bigger names that we might not ever be able to work with. You know, we have lukewarm Stephen Houston, and some new ones debuted this week. One of my favorites is Bronzeberg, if you want to take a look at them, the Heartache Kid. So these have been really popular. The way we design these card decks is to be really competitive out of the box. Our normal starter decks are meant to be played with any character, but these are made specifically for the characters, and they play towards a strategy. So it's really more of like a high-level play, and it's our way of giving a new player a way to get in the game and not have to chase after everything and just have a really great deck right from the start.
And then if you know you have a favorite wrestler, you can kind of focus in on that. And because I see, like, I love Asia. That's awesome.
Yeah. You know, parody of China, who I got to meet, was a super sweet woman. She, you know, may she rest in peace. And just to keep the memory and their legacy alive too is really, you know, we're trying to have a fun thing for our community and really like respect the characters that we're replicating.
And celebrate pro wrestling that we all love.
Listen, when pro wrestling is good, it is great. When it's bad, you're like, this is not always like this, you know, when you're trying to get your friends involved. But we've been having an awesome show. So many people come over and say, listen, I love that you've brought like a wrestling scene to Origins. You know, people hear us cheering and clapping, and that's really a compliment because we want people to have a good time.
Yeah, absolutely. If you've ever been to a convention and they're here, you know that they are here.
We average a couple noise complaints each show, but we really try to be high energy. I like to look around and see people smiling and celebrating. There are a lot of great games out there, but you'll notice people are usually really serious. And for me, these are vacations, and I know when you travel, you want to like kind of let loose a little bit and have a good time. But this year, it's not only about Super Show. We actually have a couple other products, too, that we're really excited for. If you guys want to take a quick look, we're doing a little rearrangement. We have a brand new game called Scallywager. It is a pirate-themed game. It is based off the ancient game of Liar's Dice. So if you're familiar with that, but we kind of dragged it into the board game world, where when you win that round of bidding, your opponents lose a dice, which are your crewmate, but then you also get to either take an adventure or a treasure card. Treasure cards are items that are face up. We can take a look at one here randomly. This is a treasure map. Everybody knows what it is, and you can use it in between rounds. Or you could take an adventure card. An adventure card, no one is going to know what it is, but you only have one round to use it. So in this case, you can make a player battle the Leviathan, and it puts them at risk at losing some of their crewmates. When you have no crewmates left, you're eliminated. Last pirate standing is the new pirate lord. And people have really enjoyed this. I started this game in about 2015, I'd say. If you look at the copyrights, 2017. So to be able to have it here now, almost 8-9 years later, is just amazing to see. And last but not least that we have on display, this is called Rummy Gummies. I like to call it the sweetest family card game. It is a game that I designed with my 11-year-old daughter, Isabella. It's based off like the classic Rummy games like Knock Rummy and Jim Rummy, but instead of cards, you're playing with flavored gummy bears. You have a hand of 7 cards, and your goal is to get a set of 4 and a set of 3. So for example, you have 3 blue raspberries using a rainbow bear as a wild card, and then 4 grapes using the split bear as a grape flavor. You could also use the 4 original flavors with a pair of 3 to have a winning hand. But the cool twist here is these gummy worms. They add a little bit of mischief to the game. When they're thrown out 3 in a row, they trigger an effect. So this one will make a player pass 1 card to the left. This will reverse the turn order. This will skip a player. This forces the player to draw a new hand. And this one makes all players pass their hand to the left. So some of these could be really good or really bad depending on the timing of it. So you got to be aware of what people are throwing out before you. So a real simple, fun game, and it has a nice little element of strategy that you can play with kids and adults, and it'd be like a little competitive and a really fun time. So that's what we have going on. If you beat me in Rummy Gummies, you're getting a free pack of gummy bears. And while the supplies last, we're almost done. I think this is our last one. We have these really cool Rummy Gummy prize packs that come with some cool toys and squishies. My daughter said we have to have prize packs if you have a game, which is a little unconventional, but it really worked out. I think it's a cool idea that, you play a game with your friends, and when you win, you get to pull a prize from the pack. So.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much for talking to us.
Well, thank you, guys. A few years back, we did this once before, and it was really a privilege. So I appreciate you thinking about us and coming on back.
Awesome. Thank you.
Thank you. Bye, man.